Alright, Monster Stars Presents. Let's get into it. Friday, 31st of March. It's been a while, hasn't it, since the video? God, it's been pretty hectic and I've been pretty busy. But yes, back. This one is going to be about the Lee Valley Camino Ultra 50k. How was my first ever ultra marathon? So, in the spirit of 2023, I thought, what better way to get a long run in for London Marathon than to do a 50k, because that's significantly more than a marathon. I've always had it in the back of my mind to go a bit longer because you get to go slower. Bit of a note, runners out there, if you go longer, you can go slower and you can eat more. Yeah, and I know that Camino Ultra have done some really fun races. People speak very highly of their race series, so I signed up. So Lee Valley is relatively flat. It's a bit of a sort of out and back. Well, you get the train out to Welwyn Garden City, and then you run all the way down the sort of canal paths back into sort of Hackney Wick, here East Lee Valley. Yeah, so it was last Saturday. I really try and sort of listen to what people have said about races before. Ultras, read quite a bit, carried on with my mileage. Mileage has been really good. Body's adapted quite well. I've slowly built up to sort of 60-ish miles per week, so it's around 100k weeks. Yeah, it's been very slow to get up to this, and body's adapted quite well. Not been eating particularly a lot more, not feeling too fatigued. So carried on with my speed workouts through a run club and then track with Track and Core on Thursdays. Yeah, so I was mindful that, you know, I'm going to get 50k in the legs in one day, and then obviously I'm going to get up and run on the Sunday. I had a Hoka event that week, which was great, at the Limelight HQ. We went for a good old spin. So that was quite a fun midweeker. I think I ran there. Totally forgot what I was doing that day, so I actually ran in the morning, so I did a triple run day. No wonder I got a lot of miles in last week. Yeah, fast forward to the weekend. Friday came, got an easy run in, had some really good food, and I was definitely, right, pack your bag. So I packed all my gels, nutrition, had lots of different bottles for electrolytes, plain water, and sort of stuff to carry and drink on the way there, because it was like a 2-hour journey, and then what I was going to drink en route. So I packed loads of gels, SIS, Morton, caffeine, non-caffeine, energy bars, apples, bananas, sweets, salt, sweets, you name it, electrolytes galore. Sipped electrolytes all the day before, because I know that a lot of people mentioned, you know, they start walking, they start cramping, they sort of lose a lot of salt, and this really impacts their performance. And I thought, yeah, let's listen to those people. So yeah, just sipped a lot of electrolytes the day before. In the morning I sipped them, got there really early. They were still, you know, Paula was still putting out names, you know, for the bib. Got my bib, went inside, and I was pleasantly surprised that literally half of BTR walked in. So Sunny and Grace, Trina, Frank, Lisa down from the Midlands, so all the run leaders and trustees. It was just nice. Ashley, then we had Roisin, Mike from Track and Core. So it's just nice to see some familiar faces. The atmosphere is very tense. The only way I can explain it is a bit like having an interview where you're trying to be polite to other people, but you don't want to be too nice because you don't want them to get the job. So it was just, yeah, just very tense for a race. I thought, oh, this is a bit serious. So I tried to talk to people, find out their names, and my strategy was go out easy and finish feeling good. Because however I finished not feeling good, dehydrated, lost a lot of salt, woozy, feeling really hungry, not feeling strong, it's just really gonna mess with my mental health. And you know, that's gonna be my last race experience before London Marathon, and I just didn't want to you know, have in the back of my mind my last race not being great. So we went under the pink Camino arch. We went under the arch around 9ish, 9:05, and then I just sort of settled into the rhythm. We all kind of got pulled along with some of the, you know, the runners who were, you know, really putting in some effort. And I just wanted to settle in. My Garmin Phoenix 5S, great watch, quite a small face. It's quite old, fine for everything that I do, but I know that when I do marathons, it sort of runs out of juice. So I spent the first mile just fiddling with turning off the GPS, just trying to fiddle with it. And in a nutshell, it just didn't work. It was just rinsing a lot of battery. I already preempted this and I just started my phone. So I just started my phone and put it into my backpack. So I just thought, oh, sod this, it's not working. So I just didn't look at it, or I think I turned it off. So I kind of found a bit of a rhythm, kept like sipping loads of electrolytes. We all kind of follow each other, I guess, at the start of the race. Lots of sort of towpaths, canal paths. Yeah, felt pretty good. 10, 12k in. We was at the first aid station. So I had a banana, filled up my electrolytes, and then carried on going. Met a lovely lady, I think, who's just had a baby and wanted to get back into running. It's one way to get back into running, sign up for a 50k, but we kind of hung out and ran together, and you know, I slowed down my pace, and yeah, I enjoyed sort of having some company. Got to the next aid station, made another friend. He has done quite a lot of these. He had a bit of music in, said his navigation wasn't great, so we kind of helped each other, you know, move around the course. So with ultras, I definitely think people are a bit more friendly. They do like to chat. Again, you're not moving as quick, and I think there's a bit more of a sincerity or earnest humility that we're all trying to, you know, get through a distance. Some people have done the distance before, some people are trying to do it for the first time. So I just really found it quite noble that all of these very different people from different backgrounds were here within the same space to try and, you know, complete another 50k or their first ultra, etc, etc. So I got to around mile 18 to 20, another aid station, and then the field was very much spreading out, and I'm very lazy. You might think that's an absolute lie because I run every day, but I really didn't want to be like navigating. So, you know, if there's someone behind me, I'm more than happy to slow down and let them kind of do a little bit of work. I'll always be a backup dancer for that kind of thing. But if there was runners in front, my watch wasn't working, so I'd try and use them as a marker. If they were pulling away, I'd speed up a bit because I know where I'm going. I'm trusting they're going the right way because I'm going to follow you. So yeah, I just sort of carried on my merry way. Got to 20, felt really good. Legs were a little sore, but I had gears. I was focusing on my form. Electrolytes were just going down a treat. I kind of forced myself after 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to have an energy bar. It's such an odd feeling trying to eat when you don't want to eat. Yeah, that was interesting. So the energy bars were just about going down. The fruit was great. So I got to sort of mile 20 and I went, right, you know, just sort of run on feel. So I kind of knew I had someone in front, just kind of kept an eye on them for navigation purposes, and then one or two of the people in front started walking, and I just made a point of asking if they were okay to do some electrolytes or water and gels, and they said no, I'm fine. So kind of went past them and carried on. Had to kind of pursue the next person in front, so I had someone to follow. There were a few moments where I kind of took a little bit of a wrong turn down a canal path and couldn't see the person in front. People behind me kind of caught up and I got back on track. Got to the marathon distance, felt a bit proud. Yay, marathon. And it's not over. So got to 26 and then I knew that I didn't actually know how far I had to go. I thought it was another 4 miles, but it was actually 5, and things like that become quite important when you've been on your feet for so long. But yeah, I thought about quite a lot of things. I thought about sort of my family. I think the older that I get, I do think of my late father who passed away when I was 8 years old. So, you know, someone who's turning 40 next month, that was a very long time ago, and I'm always just curious, you know, like what would he think? Would he be proud of his son running sort of marathons or being a runner, or, you know, testing himself doing ultras? So yeah, I did think about family members, and, you know, ultras, you have, I mean, running in general, you generally have a bit of time to yourself. I made a point of not putting my earpods in. I just kind of just wanted to really enjoy it and run to my heartbeat, and I guess the atmosphere of the canals and people running by. And I think they saw my bib, which was on my shorts, and I got a well done, or, you know, keep on going, you're doing great. So it was really encouraging to hear that. So yeah, got past marathon. Didn't really strictly know much because my phone was like, when I got to marathon distance, it was saying I'd done like 8 miles or something, so that was completely wrong. So I tried to check my my phone, just to make sure I was tracking okay. And then I met a lovely lady, Sue, who we maybe ran together at the start, and then we sort of met again. And yeah, Sue was great. We hung out and ran a little bit together, and then I kind of kicked on, and then yeah, I kind of got to the IKEA drum shed part of going towards North London on the canal path, so I knew exactly where I was. That is my long run route. So when I get to where drum shed used to be in IKEA, that's about 10 miles from my house. Now I knew I wasn't running 10 miles because that's all the way home. I was running to here east. So we got to the canals, got towards the canals on Chatsworth Road. Yeah, then kind of brought it in home. Picked up Ashley, another BTR member. He started to get cramps and I tried to drag him along, like, come on, we're going to do this. We haven't got far to go. Yeah, then kind of brought it into the finish. Here is the medal. Dun, dun, dun. And then here is the sort of lanyard. Yeah, so I got my medal. Me and Ashley sort of escaped and went. We just got freshened up and, you know, changed footwear and all that jazz, and then we basically just waited to wave everyone in. So Alice was at the finish line, which was great. Dale was there. We had a nice hug. We had some really amazing cake that Alice had made. So Ashley came in, Frank came in, Sunny, then Grace, then Lisa, not in that order, Trina, Annie B. So many of us for the first time. Roisin, Eric, Abigail. Yeah, just beautiful to see, you know, as adults, we can definitely take a chance and a risk, take a bet on ourselves to push forward, to be better. Yeah, and to move towards a brighter day and doing hard things. And we all finished. I could sort of feel the emotion on lots of people's faces. And then we broke bread and we got a bit of food afterwards, and like Coca-Cola felt so good after you've gone that far. Yeah, it was just a really good day in the office. So I think 110 in the field, ended up coming 28th, 4 hours 35, 4 hours 38 on the clock, 31 and a bit miles, and I rounded off the week with like a 71 mile week. So I got myself home, ran myself a bath, lots of Epsom salts, and just tried to sort of, you know, use the the muscle gun to try and, you know, kind of get that out. And yeah, just felt really, really proud. Got a 50k in. Thank you, Camino Ultra. Thank you, Daz and Bone. Thank you, Paula. Great race, amazing atmosphere, fully recommended. If you do want to dip your toe into a longer distance with a great race organisation that does care about its runners. In the race briefing, you know, they just mentioned about looking out for each other. They mentioned she races, and obviously these spaces are for women. Let's make space for those who are not around the table, so it's important. And they also mentioned that, you know, you can't see what you can't be what you can't see. And, you know, diversity in running and inclusion definitely, you know, needs to improve. There's a lot of work to be done there. So it's really nice to see so many BTR members and so many women doing ultras. Yeah, just a great day out. So it's definitely got me motivated. It's definitely a long way. Training for these things properly is time on feet and commitment. So yeah, I've been kind of thinking about, you know, 100k, which is double the distance. This absolutely blows my mind, because your brain does the logical thing. Well, you've got to do 50k, you know. So could you have ran back to where you came from? Back to Welling, and in my head I'm like, no, I was getting a bit tired. I had a bit more in me. But I also kind of moved into this meditative state of just moving forward one foot after the other. You kind of, you know, I told you and shared what I thought about, but then you can think about your private life, you can think about work, you can think about family, you can think about love and life and career and running and friends and family and lost ones, and you know, but then there's a point where your mind has had time to explore, and subconscious can maybe bubble up and rise to the surface, and then you're just kind of very present, just stomping the tarmac or the trails. So yeah, I'm really fascinated with that part. Really enjoyed going longer, and you know, relatively speaking, it was 4 hours and a half time on feet. Would definitely look forward to seeing what, you know, double that looks like. What does 12 hours look like? So I've already looked at London to Brighton on foot. There's a bit of elevation, lots of trail, the South Downs way. So I'm going to contemplate, I'm going to have a good conversation with myself and just look at the diary. It's end of May, so it would be after the Hackney Half. So yeah, I'm just going to try and, you know, get some feedback and understand, what does that look like? What does that feel like? What's the major difference from a 50 to 100? Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of lean into those things. But yeah, overall, Lee Valley 50k, here it is. Yeah, we did the thing, proper representation. Yeah, here is my medal. Yeah, thank you for watching. Any questions or any tips I can share, please let me know. Yeah, just want to help people get to the start line of their first 5k, their first run, their first trail, marathon, anything, please let me know. Yeah, loads of exciting things to come up. The AfriCap T's and C's collab, I've been going on about it for so long, it's actually been delivered. I'll do another video about that. The Pro Direct Hoka T's and C, T&C Hackney Half program has started, and that activation is going to happen. That's going to be really exciting down at track next week. And we've got Ellis Cross, who's already shared a marathon training plan with us. Super exciting. The Rocket X2, Hoka's Piba foam sort of super shoe, you know, for sort of faster sessions, fast races, marathons. I've got a pair, I've not ran in them yet. I want to, yeah, this week I had to deload, just had a lot of tight calf muscles, so I kind of got like 20 miles on the legs, and then I've got two more days, and then I'll be back to full force next week. So I'll share some insight into that. And then yeah, my curve, need to get some studying done. So overall, busy, really grateful, just trying to be kind to myself. You know, I'm going into a busy period, so trying to be kind to my body, kind with my thoughts, trying to pick up the vibrations of the community around me and make sure people at T&C are okay. I know some people are going through some challenges. It's not always about the running. Everyone does show up every week, and I'm really grateful to run the Oval Office, but sometimes it's not just about that. Yeah, and clocks have gone forward sneakily, so yeah, just really grateful that, you know, I might be able to go outside in just a t-shirt Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to brighter days in the vitamin D. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got to this part, 20 minutes, I believe. Yeah, please like and share. Any comments or questions, please let me know, and I will see you at the next one.